Start with energy. This is total investment from all government and all private into all oil and all natural gas globally. Now, back in 2014 at the peak, a narrative took hold that fossil fuels are done. Not necessarily for directly environmental reasons, but the idea was that it takes 3 to 8 years to bring a conventional field online, and then another 5 to 15 years for that investment to break even. Well, if you're thinking that we need to be to a carbon neutral environment by 2040, we're already past the time window for the investment. So why would you put your money into a project that will never pay you back? Now, I can find a freight train of logical disconnects in that particular logic chain, but it took hold in all of the world's financial centers, and among other things, we got ESG out of that. 3 to 8 years for break even. Stick with that. Now, luckily, what is true for the average is not true for each individual piece. I like to call this the checkbook map, because every dot up there is someone who paid their power bill. Here are the world's conventional oil and natural gas basins. In one snapshot, this is globalization, the agony of globalization, getting the energy from where it's produced to where we actually use it. And this is where the world's commercially viable shale deposits are. There are 20-odd reasons why American energy is fundamentally different compared to the energy complex of every other country. But considering the environment we're in today, this is by far the most important. Here, only here, we produce it where we live. This is the upper Midwest. Has anyone ever done anything other than fly over the Midwest here? Okay. That there is Marshalltown, Iowa, where I'm from. What the hell is this? That's western North Dakota, population 4.5. The half is someone flying over. It's lit up not because there's a frat party, it's lit up because of a problem with transport. Oil's a liquid. It conforms to the shape of the container it's in. You can put it into a rail car, a truck, whatever you want. But natural gas disperses. You have to have a system to gather it, to transport it, to distribute it, to use it, all at the same pace because storage is very difficult and very expensive. Here in the United States, in the shale patches, so much nat gas is bubbling up out of the oil projects as a byproduct. We have to flare it. You can see the flares from space. It's the same in the Permian. It's the same in the Eagle Ford. That's a very different price structure. These producers are basically giving the stuff away just to get rid of it. These red arrows, those are hurricanes. You see these blue spikes? That's Henry Hub. Old story. Storm comes through the Gulf. They shut down everything. They go out after the storm, repair the damage. That's how it was until 2009, because that is the year in the United States, well, in North America, where shale production produced over half of global demand. Half of regional demand. Every shale well's on shore. The other two lines are the pricing for Chinese and European natural gas. This little spot right here. Do we have any Texans here? I should know if I'm making fun of someone before I do it. Okay. This little spike right here, this is what happened in January of 21 when Texas got cold. Got down to 25. And everything stopped. Oil, natural gas, solar, wind, nuclear. Oh my God, there were snowmen in San Antonio. They were sad snowmen, but they lasted for 2 weeks. Everyone in Austin just made margaritas. And this right here, this is what we've been dealing with because of the Ukraine war. Back in September, we hit $9 and we lost our minds. $9 in the United States, $9 natural gas. In inflation index terms, that's exactly the 50-year average. We have been bitching about average energy prices. And then you can see what's happening everywhere else. This is a ridiculously overcomplicated graphic. I blame the Europeans. On the right, you start with crude oil. You refine that into tens of thousands of daughter products we use every day with an intermediate step called naphtha. You usually do this through an oil refinery. Or on the right, you start with natural gas, same general process, but first you have an intermediate step called ethylene. Now, this relatively narrow product set, these are the things that normally you can only make from natural gas. But in the United States, where natural gas is really, really cheap, we use it to do all of this. That's everything from windows to sports equipment to insulation to glass to diapers to makeup to tires. So, you have the Haynesville next door, which is one of the world's great natural gas fields. These are all options. Every circle and square up there is something you could do. And if you don't want to, you can import the stuff from refineries nearby, whether it's New Orleans or Houston, and then do the next step into heavy industry and get into any of those products I just mentioned, plus about 10,000 others. The materials are all right here already.
As an AI language model, I do not provide financial or investment advice. However, I can provide some general information to help you make an informed decision about whether it's too late to invest in oil and natural gas. Oil and natural gas have historically been significant sources of energy for the global economy, and demand for these resources is expected to continue in the future. However, the energy market is subject to many factors that can affect its performance, including geopolitical events, global economic conditions, technological advancements, and government policies. In recent years, there has been increasing concern about the environmental impact of fossil fuels, including oil and natural gas. This has led to efforts to transition to cleaner sources of energy, such as renewable energy sources like wind and solar power. These trends may affect the long-term performance of oil and gas investments. Ultimately, the decision to invest in oil and natural gas should be based on a careful analysis of the market, including supply and demand trends, technological advancements, and government policies. It's important to consider the potential risks and rewards of any investment, as well as your own financial goals and risk tolerance. It's also a good idea to consult with a financial advisor who can help you make informed investment decisions based on your individual circumstances and goals. Investing in oil and natural gas has been a hot topic for years, with many wondering if it's too late to jump on the bandwagon. The truth is, there are still plenty of opportunities to invest in these industries. Despite a growing trend towards renewable energy, oil and natural gas continue to play a major role in powering our world. While there may be fluctuations in the market, experts suggest that investing in these resources can still be a smart move for those looking to diversify their portfolio.